Hi everyone, Dorota Palicka, International Nail Artist and Educator here, and I have prepared another wintry design for you. I hope you will really enjoy it. Have a preview of what we are going to create. Absolutely amazing set of the nails. If you do like it, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're new in here, don't forget to subscribe, as there is lots of tutorials coming up every Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So let's start. It's the time to get rid of those Christmas nails, and we are going to do, I don't know, wintry-ish set, but not over the top. I'm going to use the Melody Susie, the portable e-file cordless, and I actually quite enjoy it. It's not as powerful as any of the other drills I have, and I promise guys, like now we are getting into January, February time, so I will do the review of all the e-files I got, because I've got an actually huge collection of them right now, and I will tell you the ones which I really like and the ones which I don't like as well. But I'm going to use this one because it's small and it's like no fuss with the cables, so I quite like it even if it's not as powerful. So I'm just going to remove the color from my nails. They're really old now, like, you know, my natural nails are disgusting underneath. So I'm just filing away the color. Clean this mess. And then when I'm happy with it, we are going to shape it. Gosh, so messy. Okay, so I'm just removing the biggest bulk of the color. And then we are going to shape them. So one side. And I want to keep those coffin shape. It is actually quite difficult when the natural nails become really long, but you want to still file it into those V shape. Shorten the nail, really decent amount. And then you can see it, once we file it, it becomes much thicker. So we need to remove this bulk here as well. Okay, the next step is to blend the old product with the natural nail. And give it a couple scratches to the natural nail as well. And I'm working with the 100 by 180 grit file, the blue one, and I actually quite love them because I can use them for kind of any sets of the nails. I can use it for the shaping, for removing the bulk of the color, and all those basic things. I still need to remove the bulk of the color, of the bulk of the product from the free edge. And then do the same on the other one. So nice V shape. I'm actually going to get rid of that just so my hand can be a bit comfier. Oh, that's much better. So nice V shape. And then shorten it decent. Again, remove the bulk of the product. I really love the smooth of the file, like when you're filing the entire surface of the free edge. You can see also my filing line. So usually I try to don't touch too much at the apex area because there is no need of that. I'm checking the length and blend everything around the cuticle area. And do the same on this one. Here my natural nail is huge. Okay, after I have done the most of the blending on those nails, I'm going to tidy up my cuticle area. So remove the dust and then push back the cuticles. So it's a decent push. And then using the e-file, we are going to tidy up the cuticles. I'm using the spike cuticle bit, but the slightly bigger one. And clean one side. Then put into the reverse. And clean the other side. So the entire nail plate is nice and clean and ready for the product application after we search for any shiny places. So remove the dust. And this is always my final check. So I want to make sure there is no shiny places. So like I'm unsure of this corner here. So I'm just touching it up. And then remove the dust and apply the product. So clean all the dust again, dehydrate the nail plate, so using a nail dehydrator, making sure everything is nicely clean. And I usually try to clean it more on the sides because we always clean the middle, and the middle is always perfect, so make sure you clean it properly on the sides. Then an extra nail prep. Wait for it to dry. And then we are going to apply the Universal Air Bond and use the Perfect Rose Gel. I love it. And we've got the new coverage as well, guys. So it's really nice. We still keep those blinny pots. Okay, so that's the Perfect Rose, one of my favorite ones, kind of universal gel. I use it usually as a base for any kind of design. It doesn't have a really strong coverage, but I like it because it's not too dark, so when the nails grow you don't see the growth as much as well if you want to keep it as a clear base. Okay, wait for the Universal Air Bond to dry, and then we are going to fill up the growth. I'm applying a nice and thin layer through the entire nail, so just a nice and thin layer. Like cap those free edge on the sides, especially where the natural nail joining and with the extension. Next time I'm just going to cut those nails and start fresh because I don't like when my natural nails are too long. The shaping becomes much more difficult. Okay, nice and thin layer, and then nice and thin layer. Straight away on this nail, I'm picking up this scoop of the gel and I'm going to fill up the apex. So kind of place a wee ball in there, touch it very gentle, and then once you're happy with it, touch harder, just so you kind of blend it out. Obviously this nail, after it reach the certain length, the natural nail, it's growing down the way, so I'll try to sort this out as much as possible because I don't like those look when the nails grow too much down. And then once I'm happy with it, I'm going to cure it. You don't have to fully cure it as long as you just put a couple seconds to freeze the product. And now I'm going to do it on this same on this nail, so thin layer. And then tiny bit of the product into apex. So here I have used the less product just because we had already those thin layer, and we have applied the second thin layer. And then blend that out. Check the side view, and you can see they really start growing down the way. Freeze it, so again couple seconds, just so the product doesn't run. And then do the same on this nail. So thin layer. You can see it, my natural nail is just up to here. Really long. And another small scoop. Check the side view. I will probably file away more of the free edge, just so it's nicer and thinner. And then when I'm happy, I'm going to give it full cure. So the fiber gel cures in 60 seconds. And the color we have to use is the Perfect Rose, but on the website I have given you guys the description because we've got also the Milky Pink, and the Milky Pink, that's the one which I'm using for baby boomers. It's like having like this kind of milky, very soft pink color, and it's called Milky Pink. Then the Perfect Rose, that's the one which I use the most, and it's one of my favorite ones. It doesn't have a huge, like a really strong coverage, but it's really nice for like a kind of nails where you don't want necessarily apply the color over it. And then we are going to have the Cover Nude Gel, which will be great like for your French manicure if you want a really strong coverage. But once the nails are cooked, we can shape them and then we can move on into a nice and blingy design. So another 30 seconds. And then once they're ready, just remove the inhibition layer. So I'm using the UV cleanser to clean the sticky layer which we've got in there. And then we can shape them. So first of all, I need to get rid of, like, I see this is a fresher set, so you can see the nail is really nice and straight when this one starts growing down, and it's like, oh no, I don't want that. So I'm trying to lift it up a little bit and thin out the free edge. So V-shape one side, V-shape other side. I'll actually show you maybe on the one nail how I'm shaping it. This one is the most difficult one because it's the ugliest one. I want to also lift it from underneath. I know I'm losing my C-curve, but I would rather to have less of the C-curve than the nail which is growing down too much. And then again, thin out the free edge. So it's already start looking better. I still want to blend it a tiny bit more in this place. Ideally, we should just cut it and start fresh, but that will be a next time. I actually wonder how often you change your nails for a fresh set. I usually try to do it every 3 months-ish. Okay, it starts looking better as long as you don't look from the side here. So blend everything around the cuticle area here. Okay, that's all what I can do about this nail. So it starts looking a little bit better and we just have to leave it alone. I will show you quickly on this one. So this one is a little bit easier because usually it's my index finger which grows the quickest, like down the way. But still, I want to lift this one up. Blend everything. And you can see it like by filing on the sides how much thinner and nicer looking the nails become. Like compare this two, I can see it. This one is much nicer already. And the side view as well. So ideally I should replace this nail every two infills, and then the other ones I can keep a little bit longer. Okay, now I'm just buffing the nails. And I'm using the sponge buffer on the entire surface of the nail. Same on this one. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to do it quickly on the last nail, and then we will be able to move on into the design. So you can see it, the shape has so much improved by just filing the sides into the V shape, and I do really recommend that you doing so, even if they are kind of older nails. I'm just going to file this one quickly, and then we can move on into shaping, into the design part. Okay, that's them all filed. I'm just going to tidy up the cuticles one more time, just a little bit. Actually, not cuticles, more of a nail folds. Now, not all nail folds can be filed like quite strong. I've got medium nail folds, I would say, so that's mean I can file them not overly strong, but I can file away the nail folds a little bit. But then they are, that's a nice piece actually of the skin coming off. But there are some clients where I wouldn't do it to them because their nail folds are very gentle. And in general, I would say, I've got a one lady, she's from Latvia, and I guys promise, like, I really going to do the cuticle work on her, because she's got those perfect cuticles for a Russian manicure, and we can really file away the nail folds. My nail folds, as I say, are kind of medium, so I cannot go as deeply in there. And most of my Scottish clients, unfortunately, have got completely different type of the skin, and not all the cuticles are good for those kind of manicures. So you have to be really careful, like when you're watching all those videos, you know, doing such as excessive manicure work, because on some types of the skins it's just impossible to achieve those looks. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I have done just a bit of those cuticle work. Now I can clean it with the blue scrub. And like, look at the length of my natural nails, unbelievable. I need to get rid of them in the next video. Yeah, but let's do the design on those nails. So I want a little bit of bling as usual, but also I want to have some nail art on it as well, and I think it will be super cool. So we are going to use the High Shine Wipe Top Gel. I'm just putting a drop of it in there, and then we are going to, not this brush, and then we are going to paint some design. I'm just going to grab this so it's easier for me. So I want the design on those nail, definitely the middle nail. No, actually I'm not going to use that. And what I'm doing is I'm painting a line with the top coat. You want this line to be quite thick. So nice and thick line. I'm going to clean my brush as well because I can see it. It has bits and pieces of the French gel. I would say you want to use the 1/3 of the nail for this line. So 1/3. Fill up my hole. It's called pitting. So I have created an air bubble in the gel, and then I have filed away these air bubbles. That is when we overwork the product. Okay, so the line with the top coat is done. I'm happy. I am happy. I'm going to do another one in here. I'm actually excited for this set. Okay, the lines with the top coat are done. And the last one. It's actually quite difficult to paint with the top coat because you don't see it as much. Okay, and then when I'm happy with it, I'm going to give it a cure, and we are going to cure it for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds cure. In the meantime, on my mixing palette, I'm going to grab some paint on French gel. So paint on French gel. Okay, my top coat is cooked, and then we are going to use the chrome pigment. I'm going to try it, this one. So that's a pale gold. And it's just a perfect shade. I love it so much. I don't like those too yellow gold. Actually, for those of you, so this is gold and this one is pale gold. There is not much of the difference, I would say, but this one is kind of like a silver goldish. Really beautiful shade for those of you who don't like too yellow gold. Okay, so that is done. I'm just going to use my finger to rub it in so it's shinier. And then we are going to move into the next step. So the next step is base gel. So soak of base gel. And we are going to apply the soak of base gel in here. So just a thin layer. Thin layer. Nice and thin layer. And I suggest we do one at a time, just so it's better. And then the base gel has an inhibition layer. So what I'm going to do it is straight away, I'm going to apply the top coat. So high shine no wipe top gel. Don't cure it. And then take the Swarovski crystals Pixie in a cute mood, petite, and that's my favorite one. And cover it. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I love it. I really love it. Okay, put it on the side. And then with the sponge, I'm moving the crystals which I don't want to be at the edges, so they don't come off. Okay, and then with the fan brush, I'm just going to add a couple extra. Gosh, my hands are shaky. Too much coffee, too much lazy time over the Christmas. I hope, guys, you have really enjoyed your time as well spent with the family. Now, I don't want them to really stick out too much on the sides because I feel like it just doesn't look nice. So I'm probably going to skip the sides a little bit. But I want one in here. Yes, this is called fussiness. And then the other side. I just feel like the crystal pixies done this way are the prettiest one. Because we are not missing any place. Okay, now I'm happy with it. So I'm going to give it a flash cure. So just a couple seconds. And then we are going to apply them here. So soak of base gel. Decent amount, and then quickly top coat. When you're applying the top coat, make sure you don't press it too strong. So pretty. Okay, then the sponge. What else we're doing with the sponge? We're kind of pressing the crystals which might stick out, so they are not catchy. Because you don't want them to be too catchy. And then give it a flash cure. Okay, once you flash cure it, put your crystals away. I'm just going to put them on the side so I don't lose them. And we can move on into the next part of the design. So on the chrome parts, we are going to apply the High Shine Wipe Top Gel. And then we can do the design on top of it. Okay, so we have to cure it. And then using the D-liner brush, we are going to paint the design. So I'm just going to use the drop of the UV cleanser to clean my brush from the top coat, because we had the top coat on this brush. So look what I'm doing is like I'm kind of rolling my brush to get a nice point, picking up a drop of the French gel, so my brush soaks the white gel instead of the clear. So a couple seconds longer and then we can start painting the design. Okay, so I'm just picking up the French and then let's paint it. So we don't want to cover the entire gold, but you want to kind of make it nice and interesting. And you can see it when I'm picking up my white gel. I'm trying to have like a wee blob at the end of the product on my brush, like a wee blob with the product. So this way we can kind of create like a wee leaves. Color that in. So some parts you want it to be much thicker and some parts really nice and thin. A wee leaf and a swirl. Now I'm just going to swap my hand. So basically I'm painting on top of the top coat. And then some other parts on the other side. So much thicker. Those kind of swirl works always looks really pretty. Now I'm going to grab my dotting tool. And with the dotting tool we are going to fill it up with some dots. Okay, so this way we have created a nice and swirly pattern. I'm going to freeze it, so just a couple seconds, and then we can paint another one. I think you cannot go wrong with the swirls. It always looks so pretty. Just really take your time. And then I'm going to join that in. I think every nail technician needs to learn how to do the swirly work, because it looks always so pretty for a wedding, for a winter, for summer, any kind of time of the year. Okay, we have to do something for a balance. We have to do it on the other side. I think pinky is the hardest nail to paint, definitely. Okay, and then when I'm happy with it, again, just a couple dots to fill up the empty space. They look actually really rich. So on the thumb, I will do a similar construction of the swirly bits, but I'm not going to keep you bored with it. You can have a look how pretty this set is. Not over the top, and it's perfect for both winter, New Year, but also even in the summertime, even for a wedding. So very universal set. I'm just going to cook it and then show you the final look. I hope you have really enjoyed watching this tutorial and you have learned something new. And if you didn't try the swirly work, you just have to learn how to do it. Now, when my nails are cured, I'm just going to use a drop of the UV cleanser. Okay, and that's them fully cooked. So I'm using the UV cleanser to remove the inhibition layer because the French has the inhibition layer. Okay, so just remove that. And then using a baby wipe, because obviously I have no access to the water in here, I will just go and wash them afterwards. I'm just going to clean them and apply my favorite cuticle oil, Psycho. It smells gorgeous, guys, like really nice. They actually turn it out really pretty. Yeah, look at this set. So nice and pretty. Sending you lots of glittery hacks. Bye for now.